Record. All right. Tuesday, September 24th, Trump was speaking at the UN and lo and behold said something bearish, got it late. And the reason why I'm going to bring this up is because the damn thing happened right in here. And this is it's a good teaching moment. Anytime you're listening to someone who claims to be good, claims to be, a mentor, a coach, or whatever, like I do, if they don't admit when they're wrong, where they screw up, then they're not any good. All right, then they're insecure about what they're trying to be portrayed as. The key to this business is being good at being wrong and being okay with it. That's who you want to follow. That's who you want to learn from, including from each other. So now you look at this long up down bar. But before that happened, it was news induced. Trump was beating up on China in his UN speech. Now I screwed up by having it on a feed instead of TV. Don't know why. And I got it maybe a little late. That didn't bother me as much as where I sold it. I sold it at even quarter, even half, and I puked it at one quarter for a 3 or 4 tick loser, and then the damn thing just floats lower. The difference was, had I been on TV, I would have sold it at 2.5. I know I would have, because I knew I would have taken a shot and it would have worked. Big difference for me selling 2.5s than even halves. 8 ticks, right? Big difference in being able to hold it and take a little bit more out of it. The problem was late loser, but right side. All right. I don't let that bother me so much where I'm throwing things around and let it affect my next trade. Tried to get short again in here, took a scratch, or -1, not a big deal. And it would have been a nice loser had I held on to the hope that we were going to break down. The reason why you have to remember what you did and get rid of it and move on is because you would have held on to another short and this one would have been a big loser, because you would have said to yourself, well, you got out of this short too early, Anthony. I call myself Tony when I trade. You got out of this short too early, Tone, and it would have worked. So, stay into this one, squeeze this one, and then you really would have been mad. I don't do that. I forget about this. I treat this one in and of itself, look at it, what's it supposed to do? And I told guys it was supposed to break. It's supposed to break. It's not. I'm out. And right above here are buy stops. Be careful, short, before it jumped. And that's why it's important to not only stand in a room in an environment, calls that happen real time, but why do they happen? You got this consolidation box. That's what's huge, right? Here's the other thing is ground zero. We talk about this all the time. Ground zero is where was the market before news came out that drove us. It's right in here. Draw a line across. Is it coincidental that the market stopped there, topped off, and headed lower? Of course it's not coincidental. That doesn't mean you're going to sell it right here all the time and catch this whole move down 20 points lower. It's just showing you that the market so far is still keeping this news weak. All right. If it gets above it, then you start to question how weak is the market if it can't stay down on bearish news. So I actually thought that this was in the market, that we weren't going to stay super bearish until we couldn't get above here. So when we're trading in here, I'm not thinking that still discounting Trump's comments as being priced in. It's like, well, so far they're below this 04, 05, where we started. That's important in any market you trade. When you get a big move, market. Know why it moved. The market was still bearish. No, and I was saying if you were not bearish in the middle of this move, you got holes in your head based on everything that had happened prior to this down bar. This was not an easy place to get short, to find the downside, but you did know that we were going to have a breakout once you start reading a market and a chart the right way, which is through consolidation boxes. Don't get over complicated. The only people that force big words, that force complex strategies and everything else are people who are trying to look smarter than they actually are. Everybody knows someone like that, not just in trading education, but in life. So good luck. Make sure that these price pressures are real. And you could have, and I got to say this because in the morning I discounted it a little bit, but when you get something on top of something else, 1, 2, what happens is you get maybe the uncertainty to drive stock prices lower. First thing is this Ukraine phone call between President Trump and the Ukrainian president. It's a cloud. It's uncertainty. It could go away quick. The market wasn't worried about it a few hours ago. But now Trump being a little bit tough on China in his rhetoric, does that push back any kind of productive meetings October 7th, the next time high-level officials start to talk trade? The trade deal doesn't matter who wins or who loses the trade deal. They just want to avert any kind of future tariffs and possible economic weakness. Also, I got to say this is going on too long. Consumer confidence came in weak. That's generally bearish for stocks. And then you had a weaker Richmond Fed, which isn't a big number, but it missed pretty big. So the market doesn't, like it when people start yapping or chattering about recession. So good luck. We'll see everybody in the trading room tomorrow. If you're an Edge Elite guy, we'll see you in the coaching session in 2 minutes. And if you're just a YouTube subscriber, there's nothing wrong with it, but get your butt in the room and come join us in real time.